Honestly, 2024 was a great year in terms of sneakers. A lot of things were easy to get. There was a lot of dope sneakers that were released, and I had a great year. I picked up sneakers that I never ever thought I would get W's on, and I picked up a lot of other sneakers that I wanted to get in my collection for the very first time. So in today's video, we're going to discuss my top 5 sneaker pickups of 2024. Guys, before we get into the video, I just want to wish you all a very happy and safe new year. And with the new year on the horizon, we have new goals for the channel. So this year in 2025, we're going to reach 20,000 subscribers. So I ask that if you're new to the channel or you haven't yet already subscribed, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for me, hit that notification bell. And if you've already been rocking out with your boy, the best way to continue to support me and the channel is to hit that like button and to share these videos out so that we can be put in front of more people. And when we hit 20K, I got something special planned for you guys. The first sneaker that I want to talk about coming in the number 5 spot is a sneaker that I've never had in my collection. I always wanted it, but it really wasn't retroed properly like ever since the original release back in the 1980s. And this in 2024 was a must cop for me. Matter of fact, it was double up worthy. I picked up 2 pairs, and it's one of the sneakers that I had to get no matter what. And it's one of my favorite silhouettes as well, and that's the Air Jordan 4 Military Blue, or as they called it in 2024, the Industrial Blue. This is such a nice looking sneaker. It has that new shaping, that new Jordan 4 shaping. It's pretty comfortable, you know, compared to the other Jordan 4s that came out over the years. The colorway's dope. The Nike Air on the back is something that whenever they retro them in the past, you know, they put the Jumpman on. So we got the original color from, I believe it was what, 1989. Which they're calling Industrial Blue for some reason, but we all know it as the Military Blue. Nike Air on the back. I mean, I've put a lot of mileage on these right here. This is, you know, my first pair. My other pair is still dead stock. And, you know, we waited for this for so long. So when it dropped, it was a must cop. I had to get it. You know, I even doubled up on it. And, you know, I'm glad that I picked it up. So in the number 5 spot, the Military Blue / Industrial Blue Air Jordan 4. Now this next sneaker on the list is one of those sneakers that when it was coming out, I really didn't expect to get a W on it. It was just a sneaker that is always tough to get. And the colorway on it, I mean, to be honest with you, at first I was like, oh, if I don't get it, it's really not that big of a deal. I got other sneakers in a similar colorway, so it's really not that big of a deal if I miss out on it, just like, you know, I missed out on a lot of other shoes, you know, in the past. But then I got the W on it. I got this sneaker in hand, and let me tell you, like, this is one of the best sneakers of 2024 in my personal opinion. The colorway is dope, the materials are nice, and whether you actually like the sneaker or not, you know, I do recommend picking this sneaker up if you haven't already got it. At least check it out in person because it's a lot better in hand than in photos, and that's the Travis Scott Jumpman Jack in the dark mocha colorway. Now, this is classic Travis Scott with the brown and the black on here, and you know, whenever this was coming out, I was looking at the white mocha pair because I did get a W on that as well, and the University Red pair for the Jumpman Jacks, and I was kind of feeling like this might be like maybe the worst out of the 3, but those Jumpman Jacks this year have been really, really nice. The colorway's been dope, the material's been on point, and this one right here, man, I kind of felt like this is, I don't know, maybe just not that innovative or anything like that, just because it's that normal brown and black that we always get for Travis Scott's. But when I got this sneaker in hand, man, and I was really checking out the materials on it, this is a really dope shoe. I know that these probably ain't reselling for crazy amounts of money right now, so if you haven't picked these up yet, man, I do recommend checking these out. You know, if you can afford them or get a, you know, good deal on it, maybe make some offers on this or something like that, because this is a really dope shoe. Matter of fact, I got 2 pairs of these because my girl hit on them too. So, you know, I just couldn't believe it when I got these, man, because these really weren't that easy to obtain. As you guys know, Travis Scott's are always tough to get, but this one right here, man, I definitely see this being in my rotation for a long time to come. So in the number 4 spot, I got the Travis Scott Jumpman Jack in the dark mocha colorway. Now moving on to the number 3 spot, this is another OG Air Jordan that I never had in my collection for whatever reason. I just wasn't able to pick it up, you know, whether, you know, in the past I didn't have the money or, you know, there was just other things coming out that I felt like were better or more important to me at the time. But I'm like an OG over everything kind of a guy for the most part. So whenever there's like an original colorway coming out that I don't have in my collection, it's always a sneaker that I'm going to focus on, put my attention to, and try to cop that sneaker one way or another for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So right here, this was a sneaker that I feel like people liked it. I feel like a lot of people bought it, but I kind of feel like at the same time, because The last version of the sneaker only came out a few years back. A lot of people felt like they didn't need it, or, you know, there was rumors that the materials on this were trash and not as good as the previous version of the shoe. But, you know, I did pick the sneaker up. I really like it, and that's the Air Jordan 3 Black Cement. All equipped with the Nike Air on the back. And guys, this is one of the best Air Jordan 3 colorways ever. Whether it's this one or the white cements and, you know, several other Air Jordan 3s that are probably up there in terms of popularity and, you know, just as good of a colorway. But the black cement special, I've never had it. I mean, this is one of those iconic sneakers that I always wanted to get in my collection. I looked forward to this release all year long, and this was an easy cop. I really didn't even do that much work in order to get it. There was a lot of these, so salute the Jordan brand for putting out a ton of these sneakers right here. Matter of fact, I think these just recently restocked somewhere too. Maybe it was Shoe Palace. You know, I got a notification for it. But the black cement, the materials are not trash like people kind of said it was. Is it the best? No. Was the 2018 version better? Probably. But I got a good clean pair. I think that it looks great. The materials on it for Jordan brand are pretty much up to their standards. So, you know, this sneaker right here I think it retailed for $220, so it was a little bit more pricey. So, you know, this one right here didn't really have like the hype that I kind of felt like it probably deserved, but everybody that wanted it should have been able to pick it up. And if you didn't, it's because you did not want it. But me, this was a must cop. And, you know, Air Jordan 3 Black Cement, one of the best Air Jordan 3s of all time. Now, the next sneaker in my number 2 spot, this sneaker that I want to show you and tell you about is probably the sneaker of the year for 2024. And yes, it's in my number 2 spot instead of the number 1 spot because there's another sneaker that kind of eclipses this one for me personally. But this one, I believe it's sneaker of the year. This one had the most hype, had the most attention, and basically had people going crazy for it. And that's the Air Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined. The colorway on this, so iconic. It's an OG Nike Air on the back. And this was a little bit controversial because they switched up the materials from the Durabuck that we all have known the Air Jordan 4 Bread to have all these years to a leather, which some people at first were not happy about. But Jordan brand came through. They gave us that new Jordan 4 shaping on it like we got on the Pine Greens back in 2023, which makes the sneaker more comfortable. The leather on it's really good, honestly. I've worn this sneaker a ton. I doubled up, maybe even tripled up on it. I can't even remember. I got them in a stack over there in the other room. But I've worn this a ton, and I mean, like, this is really holding up really well, man. And at the time, whenever these dropped early on in 2024, you know, nothing else just had that much hype, that much craziness surrounding it, in my personal opinion. I believe that this is the sneaker of the year. There was enough of these to go around, but not enough of them to where everybody was able to get them for retail on the first go around. But they did restock a bunch of times. A lot of people got their hands on these, were able to touch the sneaker, and you know, it's one of the better releases for 2024. So in my number 2 spot, I got the Air Jordan 4 Bread Reimagined. Now, my top pickup of 2024, this is another sneaker I never thought I would get. I knew that it would be tough going into the release. I kind of felt like everybody else, like, got to put in that footwork, got to make sure you do everything you can do to cop the sneaker for retail. And I filled out every raffle that I possibly could find, and you know, I took L's on all of them. And if it wasn't for the Nike Sneakers app, I would not have gotten this sneaker for retail. And you know, I had a really good year in terms of picking up sneakers on the Nike Sneakers app this year. I got a lot of shoes that I really didn't think I was gonna get, and very thankful for that. But this sneaker in my number 1 spot, this colorway of this shoe definitely was the best one for Travis Scott in 2024, and that's the Air Jordan 1 Low Medium Olive. And I just saw something on the Nike Sneakers app where they rated like their top 10 releases of 2024, and this was number 1 on the list. And you know, probably for good reason. As you guys know, these Travis Scott releases, like, millions and millions and millions of entries go into every raffle, every release, and they're really tough to get. This was the best Travis Scott to release in 2024, and this was not an easy sneaker to obtain, man. Like, it was limited, like every Travis Scott that comes out, especially the Jordans. Anything in the Jordan 1's always limited, always like tough to get, always really coveted. People try to get them every single time. The colorway on this is fire, man. Like, I really like the olive black and the white. I was a big fan of the women's olive Travis Scott that released in 2023. I wasn't lucky enough to get that one for retail, and you know, resale prices on those are like $1,000, and you know, I knew I wasn't going to pay that high ticket, but when these came out, man, like, I knew that it was going to be a sneaker I was really going to try really hard for, and if it wasn't for the Nike Sneakers app, I would not have gotten these for retail. So, you know, I could have did a top 10 list, but I kind of feel like once you get past 5, you know, everything starts kind of feeling the same as to how you feel about certain things. But there was a lot of great sneakers to release in 2024. 2025 is going to be even better. But in my number one spot, my top pickup of 2024 has to be the Travis Scott medium olive Air Jordan 1. But guys, that's my top 5 list for 2024 in terms of what sneakers that I picked up. That was my top 5. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions about my top 5, and let me know what your top 5 or top 10 sneakers that you picked up in 2024. Let me know what those were. Let me know if you were successful picking up sneakers that you really, really wanted. And, you know, I want to wish you all the best of luck in 2025, because I feel like a lot of these releases are going to be a lot tougher to cop than they were in 2024 or even 2023. But other than that, thank you guys for your time, your attention, and all the support you guys always show me. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that like button before you go. And I'll see you all in the next video really, really soon. I love you all. I'm out. Peace. For more sneaker content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you hit that notification bell so you never miss a video.